Hi guys, welcome back to What Was Mommy Thinking? My name is Crystal, and if you're new here, I hope that you find today's content enjoyable and that you'll consider subscribing and becoming part of our little community. If you're already a subscriber, welcome back. Thanks for being here, and thanks to another day of Vlogmas, right? So we're on that downhill slope for Vlogmas, and I thought I would do a quick video, super quick guys, for any of you that haven't completely finished all of your Christmas shopping and just need a little something and you want to make it kind of personal. I thought what we would do today is make homemade taco seasoning. And guys, this is fantastic homemade taco seasoning. This is the one that I make for my family. It doesn't have sodium in it from salt, but in the original recipe it does call for a teaspoon of salt. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some, and you can buy these little mason jars, these really cute little tiny ones anywhere, Walmart, anywhere. And they're just the little ones. I think they're a 4 ounce, and they make the perfect size because this is about 4 servings of taco seasoning. So you can do about 4 pounds of ground beef with this. So we're just going to dive right in and get started. These are all of the spices that you will need. Most of these, most people have on hand already, so there shouldn't be many surprises. And like I said, I'm going to make kind of a quadruple batch, if you will, to try and come up with 4. So the first thing we're going to start with is 4 tablespoons of the chili powder. And I hope that I have 4 left. I think I do. 1, 2. It's going to be cutting it close, you guys. Up 3. Pardon me if you hear my kids or dog in the background. 4. So we've got 4 tablespoons of chili powder. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on that. Then we need 8 teaspoons, which is almost 3 tablespoons of onion powder. So there's 3 teaspoons to 1 tablespoon. So I'm just going to kind of do it roughly here. 1, 2, and then about 2/3 of the onion powder. Our next ingredient is dried oregano. Excuse me. This one, you get 3 teaspoons, which is 1 tablespoon in the normal. So since we're quadrupling, I'm going to do 4 tablespoons. Alright, so we got our 4 tablespoons of oregano. And then the next one is optional. It's for a teaspoon of sugar. Since I am quadrupling the recipe, I'm just going to do 1 and about 1/3 for my 4 teaspoons of sugar. And we do use that. And then the next ingredient is ground cumin, and it calls for 1 teaspoon. So I would need 4 teaspoons. Which is 1 tablespoon and about 1/3 of a tablespoon. Your next ingredient is garlic powder, and it gets the same amount. It's 1 teaspoon. So you're going to do 1 tablespoon and then about 1/3. Well, mine was closer to 1/2, but it should have been about 1/3. And then you're going to do the same amount of paprika. So we'll do 1 and 1/3 tablespoons of paprika. And guys, I will put this entire recipe in the description box down below so that you'll have it for just a normal 1 serving. When you make this recipe, the amount that is in when you're done is about 1 ounce if you use just the standard recipe, and it's for 1 pound of ground beef. So this is the point that we would put 1 teaspoon of salt per pound, so it would be 1 and 1/3, just like some of the other seasonings were. But we don't use salt in our house. So we're going to do the 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper times 4 comes out to be 1 teaspoon. Boy, does it add a little bit of kick too. Alright, and then the last ingredient is a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. But because we're quadrupling it, we're going to add in a whole teaspoon of black pepper. And then this is an optional ingredient, but I highly suggest that you go with it and not miss it. It's a teaspoon of cornstarch. And I'm going to go ahead and do the 1 1/3 tablespoons because this is a thickening agent and it really does help not require so much liquid or so much broth. So I'm going to go ahead and add that in. And then that's it, guys. All you have to do now is mix this really, really well. I'm just going to grab like a little fork to whisk it around because I don't have a tiny whisk. But you just want to give this a really good mix. If you're using a larger jar, like if you were doing this, like when I make it for my family, I put it in a big mason jar. I just dump all of this stuff in a funnel in a mason jar. And then, excuse me, and then I put the lid on the jar and I give it several really, really good shakes. And then it is ready to go. So this, you just want to get it really incorporated and really mixed up so that when you do stir it, you're not seeing one color any more predominant than the others. I don't want to see any clumps of white from my cornstarch or any red streaks from the paprika. I just want to make sure that everything really gets incorporated. And when you're completely done with it, it should look something like this. There shouldn't be any more streaking of white, or, oh, there was a little streak of white. You shouldn't have any more of those streaking colors, and everything should be really well combined. Now, my intentions were to make 4 servings and for it to fit in this jar, but I can tell you right now, all of this is not going to fit in this jar. So, what we're going to do is fit as much as we can into this jar. And put the lid on, and again, it's just like the jars for the Epsom salts or anything else. You can totally decorate the lid, put a really creative or crafty label on it. My Kitchen to Yours always makes a cute little sentiment, and there's a ton of free things on Pinterest that you can use to make a label to go on it. But you want to be careful not to overfill it because I have a tendency to do so. And then that's it. You just put the lid on. And you can buy the little chalk labels for top, or there's a little space on the front here to put a little label, and that is your homemade taco seasoning that makes a wonderful gift. People will ask for it year and year again and ask if you're going to make it, and then they're going to ask you for the recipe, and that's up to you whether you give it to them or not. So that's it for today, guys. I hope that this helps you with some of your DIY and making of Christmas gifts and gives you some little creative idea that you may not have thought of before. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. And I will see you tomorrow in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.